Washington, D.C. Federal prosecutors have opened an inquiry into the Metropolitan Police Department (MPD) of Washington, D.C., following allegations that the department may have deliberately manipulated crime statistics to project a rosier image of public safety in the nation's capital. The investigation, announced earlier this week, comes amid growing concerns about transparency in policing, accountability in government reporting, and the broader debate over how crime is measured and communicated to the public. Allegations of data manipulation. At the heart of the inquiry are claims that MPD officials misclassified certain criminal incidents, downgraded felonies to misdemeanors, and in some cases failed to log crimes altogether. According to whistleblowers within the department, internal pressure to show declining crime rates may have influenced officers and supervisors to alter how incidents were reported. The most troubling accusations involve violent crimes, including robberies and assaults, which critics allege were sometimes recorded as less serious offenses to reduce the city's overall crime numbers. Several cases reportedly show discrepancies between victims' statements, police reports, and the final classification of incidents in the official crime database. If proven true, such practices could mean that residents, city leaders, and even federal agencies were misled about the real scope of crime in Washington, D.C. Why the numbers matter. Crime statistics are more than just numbers. They inform public policy, resource allocation, and community trust. Local governments rely on accurate crime data when deciding budgets for policing, social programs, and neighborhood revitalization projects. At the federal level, agencies like the FBI use local data to compile the Uniform Crime Reports, which shape national conversations about public safety. For residents, these statistics influence perceptions of safety in their neighborhoods, the value of property, and even the willingness of businesses to invest in certain areas. A consistent decline in crime, for instance, can be a political talking point, boosting the reputation of local officials. Conversely, a spike in violent incidents often generates criticism, pressure for reform, and heightened public scrutiny. Manipulating crime data is not just a bureaucratic issue, it's a breach of public trust, said Mark Ellison, a former Department of Justice (DOJ) official. It erodes confidence in law enforcement and creates a distorted picture of the challenges communities are facing. Federal scrutiny and next steps. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia confirmed it has assigned a team of prosecutors and investigators to review MPD's reporting practices over the past 5 years. The inquiry will examine whether crimes were systematically misclassified, whether city officials knowingly relied on inaccurate data in public statements, and whether such actions could constitute fraud or obstruction of justice. While federal prosecutors have not yet brought formal charges, the seriousness of the probe is underscored by the involvement of the DOJ's Public Integrity Section, which typically handles cases involving misconduct by public officials. Officials have also indicated they will seek access to internal MPD communications, training manuals, and software systems used for crime reporting. Whistleblower testimony is expected to play a critical role in shaping the investigation's direction. Political and community fallout. The inquiry has already generated significant political fallout. Several D.C. council members expressed alarm at the allegations, with calls for independent audits and public hearings. Our communities deserve the truth, not doctored statistics, said Councilmember Maria Lopez, who represents one of the hardest-hit wards. If these allegations are true, the city has failed its residents on multiple levels. Community advocates echoed similar concerns. Many residents in historically underserved neighborhoods have long complained that their lived experiences of crime did not match official numbers. Some have accused city leaders of downplaying violence to protect economic development initiatives and the city's image as a growing hub for young professionals and businesses. This is exactly what we've been saying for years, said Jordan Mitchell, head of the local nonprofit Safe Streets DC. Families on the ground know when shootings, robberies, and assaults are happening, even if the statistics tell a different story. People are tired of being gaslit. Broader implications for policing nationwide. The controversy in Washington, D.C. is not an isolated issue. In recent years, police departments in several cities, including Chicago, New York, and Baltimore, have faced accusations of manipulating crime statistics to bolster public perception or meet internal performance metrics. Experts argue that the pressure to show progress on crime reduction often incentivizes questionable reporting practices. Without independent oversight, these systems risk becoming self-serving rather than serving the public good. Crime reporting should be treated with the same seriousness as financial reporting in corporations, noted criminologist Dr. Elaine Harper of Georgetown University. When numbers are falsified in the private sector, executives face prosecution. Law enforcement should not be held to a lower standard. The road ahead. For now, MPD leadership has pledged full cooperation with federal authorities, though they deny any intentional wrongdoing. In a public statement, Police Chief Robert Conti insisted the department is committed to accuracy and transparency, adding that isolated mistakes should not be mistaken for systemic misconduct. Nevertheless, the inquiry threatens to cast a long shadow over the city's policing reputation. If the allegations are substantiated, they could lead to policy overhauls, leadership shakeups, and possibly criminal charges against those involved. For residents, the larger question is whether they can trust the institutions meant to protect them. As one D.C. resident put it at a recent community meeting, if they lie about the numbers, what else are they lying about? Conclusion. The federal inquiry into Washington, D.C.'s police department highlights the critical role accurate crime data plays in governance, safety, and trust. At stake is not only the credibility of one police force but also broader confidence in the systems that underpin public accountability. Whether this investigation results in reforms, prosecutions, or a simple reckoning of truth, it has already raised uncomfortable but necessary questions about how America measures and manages crime.